Good evening. My name is Christina Rogers. I am the proud principal of Roosevelt High School, and at this time I would like you to ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Graduates and families, please be seated. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. As we begin this evening, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the Duwamish tribe. I would also like to take a moment to introduce all of our guests and dignitaries that are sitting on the stage with me this evening. In attendance, we have Associate Superintendent Dr. Kansi Pedrosa, Assistant Deputy Superintendent Dr. Sarah Pritchett, Chief of the Office of African American Male Achievement Dr. Mia Williams, School Board Director Chandra Hampson, Director of Schools for Secondary John Halfaker, Roosevelt Assistant Principal Roy Murka, and Roosevelt Assistant Principal Jessica Proctor. And finally, as we start today's graduation ceremony, we ask that at all times you keep your masks on and that you remain within your pod section. Thank you in advance for being here to celebrate our graduates in the class of 2021 and adhering to Seattle Public Schools health and safety measures. All right, class of 2021. It is safe to say that the road that led you to this moment, your 4 years of high school, which spanned a dual pandemic with COVID-19, alongside the systemic racial inequities of our American reality, represents a story of challenge, of strength, of voice and truth, of tenacity, of pain, of hardship, and ultimately of perseverance. Tonight is not a graduation like any other in our history. And on behalf of the Roosevelt High School faculty who share in this story and the lifts and the shifts in their own practice to support your learning and your voice, I offer each of you a hearty congratulations. Yeah, it's okay to clap. Thank you. This is only the beginning of what you will do out there in the world, and we can't wait to see what is next for you. At this time, graduates, please, if you know where they're seated, take a moment with me and thank all the important people out there with you here tonight, alongside those that are watching and participating at home. Give them a wave if you want. Those are your teachers, your parents and guardians, other family members, and your caregivers. There you go. All of those that supported you to get to this moment in your young lives. So, thank you, all of you, on behalf of your graduates. And now I would like to invite to the podium Roosevelt High School Poet Laureate, Alice Watson.
This one? All righty. Hello, everybody. Some of you may know me. Some of you might not know me. That's okay. A little awkward, but that's all right. Hi, my name is Alice Watson. I'm your 2021 Poet Laureate. I was chosen to read an original poem to you all, which I'm very grateful to do today. But to be completely honest, I haven't written a poem in over a year, despite being 2021 Poet Laureate. I haven't written anything besides for class in over a year, because there's been a lot going on. We as teenagers have overcome more than some people have in their entire life in this year. So, you should be proud of yourself, to say the least. I'll read the poem now, but it's nice to see you all. I just really want to add that. Also, shout out to my family. Hey, guys. All right. It's called Goodbye to Goodbyes and Hello to Hellos. It's 9 a.m. Good morning, laptop. Good morning, pajamas. Good morning, sweatpants for an entire year. Good morning, phone. Hello, news. Hello, another day of insane news. Hello, this feeling of being so overwhelmed by all the wrong. The feeling of grief that I'm not seeing enough right to outweigh that wrong. Goodbye, phone. Hello, Zoom. You all right? Goodbye, Microsoft Teams. Not a fan of you. Hello, profile pictures and faceless voices, fragments of personalities and a loss of community. You unmute. You say something. That's a new voice. I don't recognize that voice. 4 years of high school, and I don't think I've met you once. I hope I can someday. Hello, stranger. You on your laptop. I wish I could greet you. I wish I could see your smile, more than just smiling through your eyes, but your teeth and your grin. I'm so tired of this bed and these same walls. Do you feel that way? You do? Tell me more. Reassure me that I'm not alone. I want to pretend this is all a dream with you. For just one moment. Tell me more. Nice to meet you. My name is... It's 11:10. It's time to log off and say goodbye. But I just said hello. An entire year of saying goodbye after all you've said is hello. Goodbye school, goodbye laptop, hello bed. It's June. Cases are down, people are up. I've been in these walls for so long. The air is stiff from being trapped in this cove of sheets and blankets. The warmth of sunshine is only through glass on my window. 6 feet apart or 6 feet under is locked in my mind. And while cases are down, I am more scared than ever. Life has been one way for me this past year. One strict way, one strict routine. Am I capable of more after so long? Hello, front door. Hello, outside. Hello, weird social awkwardness that everybody has now and that we're all working through together. Hello, stranger. Nice to meet you. My name is Alice. All right, well, that's my poem, but all right. I just wanted to say that this year was different. It was historically different as a senior year, and a year for everybody. And you might not have gotten as much done as you wanted to. You might not have hit the numbers or the grade point that you wanted to. And for me personally, I certainly didn't do that, and I'm feeling a lot of guilt about it, that there's a natural loss of progress. And you don't have to feel that way, because you made it. And you're sitting here today, and that is all that matters. So congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Alice. That was wonderful. Next, I would like to bring up our class of 2021 valedictorian, Torben Parker.
Welcome, students, parents and guardians, families, and staff. I am Torben Parker, and I am your 2021 valedictorian. Before I begin, I'd like to thank a few invaluable people. First, Consi Pedroza, our Associate Superintendent, School Board Member Chandra Thompson, Max Rose and Karen So for their reading of the names, and of course, Alice Watson, our Poet Laureate. Last but not least, to Ms. Rogers. The Roosevelt family wishes you the best in your new school and new school district. And we also thank you for your time as our principal. We'll miss you. It's thanks to all of these people that the event has gone so well. And now, it's my honor today to deliver the valedictorian address for the Roosevelt High School class of 2021. To the aforementioned class of 2021, we all remember the first weeks of the pandemic, back when we thought quarantine was only going to be 6 weeks long. In my Zoom history class, our teacher, Ms. Grace, mentioned how 2020 was shaping up to be a combination of 1920 and 1968. And looking back, I think she had a point. To make an obscure history connection, during his 1920 U.S. presidential campaign, future President Warren G. Harding called for a return to normalcy following the chaotic years of World War I, the first Red Scare, and the influenza pandemic. Harding was actually criticized for using what was then a new word, normalcy. Apparently, normalcy wasn't a normal enough word. We're also all anxious to get back to life before COVID. At the same time, COVID has revealed many things about the world. I'll offer 3 insights here: about our loved ones, about society, and about ourselves, which are important to hold in our minds. I wonder what normalcy will look like in 2021. First, COVID has pushed us to change how we support our loved ones. Many of us have not gotten out of this emotionally unscathed, and not just because we had to hear the word asynchronous constantly. Friends, family, neighbors have all needed extra support. So we came up with new innovations to support people we cared about. Left without in-person interaction, we switched to Zoom birthdays, dropping off treats on front porches, socially distanced walks. I've heard more students say thank you to their teachers in one virtual day than in my entire academic career. As seniors, we had to step up. We had to assume leadership in clubs, sports, arts, and classes, even when many of us didn't feel prepared for the extra challenge of a virtual year. To be true, the pandemic has been a crisis for many of us. And the unfortunate thing is, for many people, crises are not limited to just pandemics. After COVID's over, what are some ways we can continue to support each other? Maybe it means tipping the barista at Starbucks for your pumpkin spice latte, or putting extra effort into your newest batch of cupcakes for a loved one's birthday, or maybe just being generous with your gratitude. A second insight, COVID has brought to light marginalized and vulnerable voices. COVID has raised voices we couldn't hear, or more accurately, voices some of us, the privileged, didn't want to hear. Of course, many of us have been financially crippled by the pandemic. Marginalized and vulnerable groups, such as people of color, women, poor people, the LGBTQ+ community, already struggling due to centuries of injustice, were hurt more by the COVID-19 pandemic. At the same time, tragedies and murders that shocked the world related to these injustices suddenly occupied our doom-scrolling feeds. And at RHS, many of us felt our voices were not heard in regards to racism and sexism. We had many hard and necessary conversations in our school about systemic injustice that silences those voices. We've made some definite progress, and a lot more can be made. So, how will we change the status quo? Thirdly, COVID has certainly revealed much about our self-worth. During COVID, many of our most anticipated pursuits were canceled. The musical, prom, metros, music festivals, all of it gone. We never even really got to win the spirit contests. To me, and perhaps many of you, succeeding in these pursuits was how I measured my self-worth before COVID. Now, during COVID, I personally had to learn to value myself as myself without the achievements that were sources of my self-worth and my identity. Even after COVID is over, after the return to normalcy, I'll remember this change in identity, the fact that I was able to live without these trappings. After this is over, how will we reflect on our sources of self-worth? When President Harding called for a return to normalcy, the American people were anxious to forget the trauma of wars, Red Scares, and pandemics. And then came another World War, then another Red Scare, and now another pandemic. And in the end, we only remember Harding as one of the top 10 most boring presidents. We also won't ever return to true normalcy. But I don't think that's entirely a bad thing. This isn't 1968. It certainly isn't 1920, and thankfully, we're well past 2020. In 2021, we learned that a birthday hug can mean a lot during a crisis. We tried to listen more to voices in the margins. We dealt with the reality that our self-worth can't always be defined by our win-loss records, our GPA, or our TikTok followers. We can use our experiences gained during this time, both the trauma and the growth, to create simple gestures and profound change. Class of 2021, let's not return to the status quo. Let's not be normal. Let's be extraordinary. Thank you.
Thank you, Torben. And now I would like to introduce a musical recording. It's been pre-recorded by our class of 2021 classmate, Desi Pardo. Song, I believe, originally sung by the Beach Boys, if I've got it correctly. God only knows. So I think we're going to listen to a recording.
long as there are stars above you, you'll never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, will life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me, so what good would live and do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever need me, well, life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me, so what good would live and do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what God only knows. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what God only knows. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what God only knows.
Director Hampson, it is my privilege to present to you the Roosevelt High School class of 2021, who, having met the graduation requirements of Seattle Public Schools and the state of Washington, are prepared to graduate today.
Principal Rogers, on behalf of the Seattle Public Schools School Board and the citizens of Seattle that we represent, I hereby accept the Roosevelt High School class of 2021. Congratulations, graduates.
Roosevelt High School graduates, it is now time to celebrate your graduation by reading your names into the record. School directors will now direct each individual row to stand and move to the outside of your row, where you will be directed to the main stage. As your name is read, please pick up a diploma shield and move to the center of the stage. You may then briefly lower your mask for a photo before recovering your face and returning to your original seat. Please sit down as soon as you return to your seat. We will repeat this process until all students have had their names called. I think they grab them, don't they? Okay. They grab them, or did you hand them?
Vladimir, Aaron, and draw.
They take it, yeah.
Faye Benward Alase.
Brogan Sheehan Allers.
Gabrielle Mignon Levesque Adams.
Ellis Alexander and draw.
Ona Olivia Allenbaugh.
Clement Max Elaine Artigalas.
Rosie Allen.
Ethan Charles Anest.
Sophia Elizaveta Aarons.
Isabel Loren Akuri.
Annabelle Alfaro Zierton.
Kennedy Grace Allen.
Hara Amente.
Jade Elizabeth Anderson.
Cole Philip Andrews.
Jasmine Allen Anderson.
Ashton Taylor Bedwell.
Helen Elise Albrecht.
Oliver David Bacon.
Jane Claire Anderson.
Yogi Bharti.
Sutton Adley Becker.
Sarah Lisa Biel.
Gordon Randall Austin.
Eric Savoy Bell.
Elsabeth Zalalam Asei.
Wilson Thomas Brown.
Ayab Zalalam Asei.
Ethan Jack Bars.
Taylor Elizabeth Bailey.
Carter Jared Brighton.
Massimo Peter Bartow.
Sydney Grace Bennett.
Henry Philip McCabe Black.
Francesca Sue Blair.
Matthew Robert Benani.
M. John Barnes.
George Thomas Baker.
Piper May Bishop.
Daniel Albrecht Bohr.
Addie Marie Backer Corthell.
Beckham Brian Baguette.
Sophia Madeline Baldwin.
Harper Adele Bush.
Alex Corey Berry.
Hannah Blom.
Athena Janice Goyer.
Mirandy Ann Beaumont.
Ethan Andrews Bovey.
Patrick Kenneth Bajet.
Lydia Rose Black.
Tatum Empire Berry.
Audrey Elizabeth Bradburn.
Layla Fuchi Batura Beavis Mast.
Haley Claire Catherine Branch.
Marius Victor Baylor.
Lily Francis Bacher.
Eli Joseph Corey.
Emma Anise Begley Collier.
Abigail Louise Chips.
Margot Ann Bell.
Michaela Astrid Crawford.
Annalise May Bledsoe.
Olivia Amelie Colwell.
Sydney Elizabeth Colescott.
Samantha Kelly Coulter.
Timothy Staley Cantrell.
Lucia Campo.
Malcolm Allen Conrad.
Evan Gray Kennedy Cooper.
Lucas Benjamin Chia.
Dominic Ming Shin Cornea.
August Max Schroeder.
William Charles Callender.
Sophia Rosemary Clare.
Matthew Patrick Chung.
Athena Cluan Kathleen Crowther.
Amelia Elizabeth Benson Carey.
Isabella Gray Caputo.
Lily Bell Cathersall.
Shanti Rose Shear.
Christian Imran Silento.
Ayla Grace Carls.
Judy Lynn Solofsky.
Eleanor Thorson Clark.
Madeline E. Chastain.
Mohan Doremus Chilimbi.
Did you give me your name?
Zane Dylan Crawford.
Fenetra Delexi Smith.
Joshua Samuels Shervetts.
Samantha Nesta Damond.
Trakalis Cassandra Clements.
Aiden Adele Dorling.
Emily Marie Clark.
Ellen Christine Deckworth.
Justine Ann Duvoir.
Eric Brumback Daniel.
Eugenia Celeste Dennison.
Aiden Winslow Doty.
Alexandra Grace Dorn.
June Dan.
Mara Smith Durland.
Maria Christine Douglas.
Iris Allison Duxbury.
Luke Ducombe Fester.
Ethan Christopher Dobler.
Hannah Jaqueline Elamy.
Olivia Grace Depew.
Connor Jacob Enfield.
Jamie Elise Stuff.
Eli David Ezekiel.
Owen Lynch Deem.
Jackson Morgan Estes.
Jake Arthur Downing.
Sophia Grace Friedrich.
Jackson Michael Engman.
Chloe Anya Foster.
Magdalena Boo Evans.
Chris Delaney Fitch.
Claire Campbell Eggleston.
Charlotte Elizabeth Free.
Jordy Horovitz Fulch.
Haley Ryan Green.
Nathan Hewitt Felt.
Sophia Constance Green.
Claire Alyssa Foster.
Miela Caroline Gracie.
Thomas Heaton Evans.
Jacob Beto Gottesman.
Eliza Talia Eaton.
Hans Carl Sebastian Frauchi.
Owen Scott Frank.
Calvin Adams Guthrie.
May Ann Feltus.
Sophia Pramod Gupta.
Julianne Fleming.
Neil Ronald Gillis.
Francesca Venezia Flamini.
Graham Callum Griswold.
Sophia Green.
Emmett James Gingrich.
Jack Nolan Fanning.
Aiden Joseph Goulet.
Mason Allen Feiler.
Isaac William Granstrom.
Ashley Albertina Gonzalez Garcia.
Jack Wesley Griffith.
Gabrielle Shizu Garcia.
Nicholas Paul Garlid.
Jillian Isabella Gerst.
Liam Charles Hibbert.
Hannah Maureen Geibel.
Tarek Adam Haytami.
Zavdi Westcott Gelfand.
Jake Richard Granger.
Jacob Andreas Gronquist.
Zachary George Hertel.
Aaron Matthew Goldberg.
Oliver Sean Halsey.
Brooke Elizabeth Gill.
Jai Yu Lee Soon.
John Kavanaugh Guys.
Aya Lillian Griswold.
Asher Axlin Graham.
Katie Ann Hawkins.
Jasper Geldenbot.
Faye Joellen Hoff.
Ella Ann Grabowski.
Beatrix Hubbard.
Kausar Abdiashid Hersey.
Catherine McIntosh Henry.
Christophe Jorn Heller.
Sophia Evelyn Haley.
Grady Tate Hamilton.
Sophia Christine Hillstrom.
Nathan Runfan Hu.
Ailey Simeonova Hawkinson.
David Jasper Hoffman.
Ezekiel Clayton Harmon.
Kira Mitsuku Hoffman.
Aaron Shota Holden.
Ryan Frederick Hoffman.
Sam Robert James Hines.
Lydia Teresa Insera.
Sonia Claire Hinshaw.
Lindsay Clark Hedges.
Anna Elizabeth Hink.
Anna Elizabeth Huff.
Ivy Alexandra Hutchinson.
Yuzi Naama Hackman.
Jalen Sherry Johnson.
Paige Victoria Hudson.
Emma Kelly He.
Nicholas Rand Johansson.
Ray Noel Ichikawa.
Lucian Carol Jorman.
Lily Louise Foki Jacobs.
Solomon Story Kruger.
Henry Theodore Jensen.
Daniel Arash Kastsu.
Meredith Eileen Serrano.
Riley Ray Cap.
Anna Sakura Kellner.
Carson Joseph Cap.
Paul Ronald Jackson III.
Felix William Kincaid.
Joshua Tran Jordan.
Leonti Androvich Colity.
Roberto Emil Canapel.
Hunter Owen Lindauer.
Zev Micah Corey.
Xander Dylan Kramer.
Sean Kelly.
Allison Kerr.
Samuel Walter Neller.
Brooke Ann Lambert.
Audrey Kim.
William Odell Kiker.
Grace Kim.
Patrick Kraus.
Heidi Rose Klingman.
Nathaniel Ignatius Link.
Sophie Helen Kilpatrick.
Jacob Thaddeus William Leland.
Leah Kipnis.
Julie Charlotte Elisa Le Bourgeois.
Milo Venus Kennedy.
Madeline Isabel Lees.
Kathleen Louise Kelly.
Madison McKenna Lindsay.
Mackenzie Mina Kim.
Eva Judy Lindquist.
Ella Grace Kelsey.
Dahlia Eve Levine.
Sylvie Rosa Cromer.
Naomi Rochelle Lemoule.
Elijah Kim.
Jacob Reuben Levin.
Autumn Isaac K. Chapman.
Vaughn Lee.
Kennedy Elise Lee.
Miles Jin Soo Lee.
Joshua Lamore.
Sarah Young J. Lee.
Danielle Yvonne Lobo.
Hayden July Lewis Ghosh.
Naomi Latis.
Skylar Lynn.
Ari Ellen Laser.
Ethan LeRae Long.
Aiden Maurice Murphy.
Brandon Y. Liu.
Matthew Ellard Lindberg.
Gabriel Lopez.
Lillian Law.
Amanda Kate Mahoney.
Sophie Hannah Ledley.
Jeremiah Fox McDonald.
Riley Ann Lintz.
Allison Kamiko McIntyre.
Mia Claire McGrath.
Maxwell Carter McLaughlin.
Harriet Madeline Helen Moxie.
Marco Evan Morales.
Aiden Grace Myrick.
Calvin Wunjung Mills.
Lena Elizabeth McPherson.
Michael Joseph McIntyre.
Julia Elizabeth Martin.
Ian Durrell McBee.
Lauren Grace McCain.
Taryn Richard Mitchell.
Malcolm Jorgensen Murray.
Ryan Daniel McNeff.
Colin John Whitney Mayhew.
Julia Margaret Moreno.
David Whitman McCracken.
Alexander Agorovich Nosilov.
Cecilia Sullivan Mirabal.
Benjamin Jack Mazur.
Kara Marie Munson.
Annie Rose Nichols.
Nathan Mesler.
Janelle Yu King Ning.
Nicholas Mesler.
Ronan Forrest Knopp.
Jack Vincent McCormick.
Lily Sabine Macapia Oyama.
Roman Charles Merlino.
Devin Elizabeth Philbrook.
Owen McMahon Newland.
Caden Christian Pless.
Charles Gaspar Mullen.
Aiden Jai Polson.
Sophia Sierra Moran.
Eugenio Caruso Pesos.
Michelle Mary.
Desmond Elias Pardo.
Maddie Miller.
Daniel Gunpak.
Avi Gabor Jacob Jonas.
Nicolas Dayan Papadopoulos.
Reese
Pardon.
Medlock.
Enrique Pickens.
Margaret Carmela Newstead.
Umakan Fonshin.
Ella Rose Newborn.
Elise August Prey.
Quinn Catherine O'Neill.
Scarlet Sky Pike.
Allison Elizabeth O'Neill.
Sage Dominic Steelman.
Callan Maria O'Connor.
Lucas Gray Snavely.
Henry Lawton Osmer.
Cole Weller Tony.
Alex Theodore Pape.
Nicholas Sage Reinhardt.
Emma Nicole Petriquin.
Carter David Robinson.
Beck Michael Parsons.
Hannah Jane Rose.
Victor Imagine Poindexter.
Cameron Cecil Rawlings.
Henry Julius Roller.
Gaia Soleil Rosenberg.
Oliver Hughes Rose.
Quinn Hudson Roberts.
Isabel Shinyi Rikiwe.
Ella Olivia Rudick.
Haley Alicia Rosenbaum.
Miyoto Nakashima Rao.
Petra Lisette Ryder.
Erina Nevea Starova.
Alexandra Isabella Rom.
Benjamin Robert Rutherford Kinney.
Gus Benson Rindal.
Luke Thomas Roney.
Jordan Rojas.
Hendrik Franz Schellings.
John Michael Cefantes.
Grady Thomas Spores.
Sam Noel Rodriguez Mock.
Alexander Maxwell Sowers.
Calvin William Ray.
Reese Elliott Sorensen Graff.
Leah Faseha Cisse.
Jackson Everett Stanford.
Leah Nicole Scott.
Jade Isabella Sider.
Natalina Dashega.
Julian Dean Swanson.
Samuel Logan Shanneman.
Leo Joseph Stapleton.
Ian Stern.
Caden Charles Stewart.
Seamus Michael Smith.
Michael David Strauss.
Hazel Margaret Smith.
Andre Smolovich.
Amber B. D. Swalwell.
Mehtab Singh.
Emily Catherine Spencer.
Luca Luigi Solomino.
Anna Meredith Thielke.
Sean George Tyndall.
Mary Margaret Sweeney.
Stella Louise Odell Sheffer.
Sophia Ann Turner.
Harrison Connor Sherwood.
Jordan Hunter Taylor.
William Aiden Stauber.
Isabella Genevieve Tillinghast.
Carell Raphael Steffers Farrow.
Sarah Abigail Tabar Moran.
Cayman Fonzie.
Braden John Tarago.
Gunnar Robert Shanafelt.
Charles Holden Teal.
Eli Sullivan.
Ellis Alfred Traceman.
Thatcher Eugene Sexton.
Cameron Jackson Tavis.
Griffin James Sanders.
Tiago Santos Teeter.
Andre Onette Sezgin.
Victoria Allison Olm.
Caitlin Claire Salazar.
Skylar Michelle Uren.
Sora Stork.
Gabrielle Velez.
Rachel May Sharp Schachter.
Jacob Kinzel Wilson.
Olivia Leslie Stober.
Leo Alden Vanderwit Ma.
Maui Sergey Soltane. Colin
Hope
Robert
Jen-
Seifert.
Hope Jen Varner and Juke.
Alexandra Marie Seifert.
Lucy May Westhusing.
Lila Ann Shuey.
Ava Mary Elaine Watley.
Catherine Elizabeth Thiers.
Hazel Boyd Woods.
Marina Kalani Taylor.
Cole Trevor Watson.
Anya Terzik.
Andrew James Watts.
Maya Jolie Sherrill.
Sherston Jean Ware.
Azalea Selu Tuton.
Roscoe Burden Ware.
Lucille Miriam Kreider Stieg.
Lauren Ann Wilkinson.
Sophia River Windelev.
Catherine Jet Wade.
Dylan Wilson.
Maximilian Dean Waller.
Olivia Page Welsh.
Oliver Coolidge Windies.
Micah Grace Wayland.
Trinity Logan West.
Paul Francis Whitney.
Xander Woolery.
Lindsay Weimer.
Jet Benjamin Yasuda.
Jenna J. Williams.
Garrett G. Zhu.
Jilly Wolf.
Ashley Pham Yi.
Isabel Tula Williamson.
Zihoon Zhang.
Ariana Noel Williams.
Antonia Romana Zito.
Jay Worth.
Nick Frederick Zapponi.
Timothy Wyatt Warber.
Raphael Lynn Zuniga Peterson.
Ben Hayden Weisbach.
Kaylee Ann Masoko Yokoyama.
Torben John Parker.
Talia Nicole Yancey. Elise Lane Watson. Alice Lane Watson. Almost perfect.
Graduates in the class of 2021, our ceremony is nearing its completion. However, before we finish, we want to remind our guests how you will exit from the stadium. Family and guests, we are going to ask that you remain in your seats until all graduates have been dismissed from their seats. They will be exiting out the northwest field level, out in the back there. And they will go up from the stadium and head up to the International Fountain area. For guests who are seated to my left, all of you on this side over here, in the south section of our stadium, please exit through the tunnels and the rolling doors that are immediately to the back of the stadium. You will see them when you get out to the main concourse. You can come down from the stadium field to the field exit after the students leave and have left, or you may exit from the gates that you entered through. Oh, excuse me, I skipped the part about how all of you over on the north side of the stadium will do that, so let me start again. For guests seated to my right, all of you over here on the north section of the stadium, forgive me, you may come down to the stadium field and use the field exit after the students have left, or you may exit from the gates that you entered through. Graduates, our staff is heading to the back of the field to form a tunnel to celebrate your graduation. After the tunnel is formed, the directors of schools will dismiss each row in reverse order, starting at the back row. Please walk through the tunnel and up to the International Fountain, where you can reconnect with your family and your friends. Roosevelt faculty and staff, this is your cue to stand and move to the back of the field, where we will begin to form our congratulatory gauntlet. Look at all that green and gold. A special shout out to all of our Roosevelt staff and faculty who came to celebrate the accomplishment of our graduating seniors tonight. All right. We are at the part where we are going to turn our tassels. Not quite yet. Fake out. There's some directions first. Roosevelt High School graduates, it is now time for the time-honored tradition of moving your tassel to signify your status as a high school graduate. I ask you, and any of our students at home who may be live streaming to stand if you are able. That's right. Here we go. I'm going to ask you to move your tassel, but wait, before we do that, I'm going to be selfish because I want to take a picture of this, so I got to get my phone queued up. I'm going to ask you to move your tassel on the count of 3. We're going to move it from the left to the right, but on the count of 3, put it back, that was just the rehearsal. Some of you didn't watch the PowerPoint, neither did I, it's okay. All right, here we go. On the count of 3, 2, 1, Roosevelt High School graduates, move your tassel from right to left. You are now officially graduated from high school. Congratulations.